Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea, you know that, I know that, and I'm just a lady with a bulldog, a camera, and far too many opinions. On this cozy day, it's a chilly 52 degrees and it's beautiful and sunny outside in Tampa, Florida today. I got my puffer jacket because it was like 32 degrees this morning. I got my chai latte. She'd be steaming and burning my hands, my God. But I thought that we should talk about Grok being gross. Y'all know Grok? Y'all know him? Well, he's being really gross on the internet. And yes, I'm talking about the robot. So let's go ahead and talk about how the AI of today, instead of making up fake cease and desists for some people, instead of making it look like, you know, you're from the 80s or from the Edwardian or Victorian era, he's instead just accepting some real gross prompts and making people look naked on the internet. And it's real sad and gross. So we got to get into it. I don't want to, but we got to. It's so creepy. Now, who's Grok? You know, Grok is the flagship AI bot on Twitter, also known or now known as X. I will not call it that. I won't. And that is on Elon Musk's internet, basically. Usually I say Al Gore's internet, but no, this is Elon Musk's internet. And apparently he's not taking it seriously, and it's quite concerning. And we have been talking about schmetaphiles a lot. Unfortunately, I do have to use some censored language, even though we are on YouTube, but I do have to use some censored language in my videos when we do talk about these types of things. And I do want to make it clear, as always, in every video, if I'm using censored language, it's not because I'm not taking things seriously. It's not because I'm being a snowflake. Oh my gosh. No, it's because I don't want my video to be suppressed. I don't want it to have limited ads. I don't want it to be demonetized because then YouTube does not push out those videos. So just to be clear, okay, let's go. We're going to use a lot of protected language and it's going to be annoying, but I need to talk about this. Grok isn't just a text bot. It's been positioned as a multimodal tool, meaning it can work with images, including generating and editing images too. Now, when you give people a tool that can edit a real person's photo, you're basically handing bad actors a short path to, hey, make this girl naked content. Multiple outlets have reported that X users were prompting Grok to sexualize or, quote, undress photos of women and girls, including underage girls, and that those outputs were being posted on X.
Men are using Grok to undress women, children, and babies. Men are using Grok to undress women, children, and babies. Men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Men are using Grok. I am so tired as an AI ethicist to open social media to see the news and everyone is saying Grok is undressing women. Grok is not doing anything. Grok is a chatbot. Grok doesn't have feelings. Grok doesn't have agency. Do you know who has agency? Men. And men are the ones using Grok to undress women. It is time for people, news media outlets, and basically everyone to stop blaming a thing and to start blaming the actual people doing the damage. Men. Men are doing this. And if you want to blame more people, blame X, blame Elon Musk, and blame all the tech bros that created a chatbot that didn't have any governance, any guardrails, and that allows the removal of clothes of babies, children, and women.
Now, when it comes to AI, there actually has been a lot of deepfake imaging and media put out there. Basically, deepfake porn made with AI using people's likeness, and it's extremely concerning. And ever since learning more about this and then more about the PDF files that utilize this, just from like one picture on the internet of your kid, it's concerning. It makes me not want to be on the internet at all. And this is actually one of the main reasons, after learning all about this, reasons why I stopped posting my kid after, you know, he looked more like a actual human instead of just a random Caucasian baby. So it's disgusting, it's harmful, and it's scary. But in reality, the Grok bot doing undressing prompts is really just deepfake porn with better branding. It's just like a more consumable or digestible version of it. And it's still disgusting, obviously. And it should not be allowed. And there should be guardrails and things in place to where that's not allowed. Now, like I said, undressing is deepfake porn with better branding. This genre often gets marketed with softer language like nudify, undress, try on, spicy, etc. But the impact is still the same. A person's body is fabricated to look like a real nude image. And typically always, it is non-consensual. And many times it's used for humiliation, harassment, blackmail, or sexual exploitation, or just people being freaks. And of course, this is disproportionately targeting women and girls. And I say girls because that is involving minors.
Grok, the AI tool from Elon Musk's company X, is under fire. The app, which has an image editing feature, is now being used to create non-consensual and sexualized deepfake images.
Grok was producing at least a dozen inappropriate images every minute, people were commanding the chatbot to take people's clothes off, basically.
Even if it's just a prompt of put her in a string bikini, that's still someone else's picture that you're doing that to, and they didn't post a picture of them in a bikini. So why are you asking it to do that? And also, just like, why are you asking it to do that? This is a child. You don't need to see them in a bikini, even if it's not a child. Does that person want you to see their body? Probably not. It's disgusting, it's degrading, and it's violating. And everyone who has been making those prompts should be, speaking in a hyperbolic manner, in my opinion, put into an active volcano, but like a real slow slide into it, feet first. In early January 2026, reporting described X as being flooded with AI-generated sexual imagery made from Grok prompts, including imagery that appeared to involve minors. One of the most alarming pieces here is how frictionless distribution is when the tool and the social network are effectively in the same ecosystem. Generate, post, go viral, re-upload, it's everywhere. And The Guardian reported that even after public claims of tighter controls, workarounds still allowed sexualized outputs to be produced and posted.
Thousands of women have been digitally stripped without their consent or even knowledge, dressed in dental floss or transparent bikinis in sexual positions. Sexualized and topless images of children have also been discovered on dark web forums where users claim Grok was used to create them. This week, the government is finally stepping in. New laws will come into force to criminalize non-consensual sexual deepfakes, and Ofcom is currently investigating X for possible breaches of the Online Safety Act, which requires it to take down legal content and prevent users from seeing deepfake nudes. Celebrities like Maya Jama have spoken about this violation, and Keir Starmer has made it clear. Creating or sharing these images is abuse. Musk has accused the British government of being fascist and trying to curb free speech after ministers stepped up threats to block X. As for free speech, since when was free speech associated with having the right to strip someone without their consent?
And then this recent lawsuit, actually this article from People was written yesterday, but from Ashley St. Clair, really added a lot of fuel to the fire, but thank God this is getting more attention. Ashley St. Clair is suing Elon Musk's AI over Grok's generated sexually explicit images of her. St. Clair is the mother of Musk's 14th child. The lawsuit filed in New York State on Thursday, January 15th, comes amid an ongoing custody battle over their son, Romulus. St. Clair, who is a conservative influencer, filed a lawsuit against the platform alleging that it generated and circulated sexual deepfake images of her across X in a new lawsuit filed on Thursday, January 15th. The lawsuit obtained by People reads that this is a tech giant with every tool and advantage at its disposal, and it's chosen to willfully turn a blind eye and even celebrate the sexual exploitation of children and women. St. Clair claimed that the generative AI technology created sexually explicit images of her as a child and an adult, and she reported them to X and requested their removal. Grok first promised Miss St. Clair that it would refrain from manufacturing images unclothing her, alleging that Musk, however, retaliated against her, demonetizing her X account and generating multitudes of images of her, including unlawful images of an explicit nature.
It's incredibly violating, and it's also how realistic it is, because these look very real, these images, and they also have real parts of my real life, like my real son's backpack in the background that was kept in these photos as they were altered. So I'm seeing myself bent over and undressed and rubbing and touching myself next to my toddler's backpack. I've seen, at this point, hundreds of images of women and children being undressed, having bruises added to them, having bondage, BDSM things added to them, having them bent over and just violated. And these women feel incredibly hopeless. And at this point, the question that needs to be answered is how many of these images were produced of women and children before action was taken.
No, I don't even want to get into the custody battle between and just blatant transphobia that is just oozing out of the custody battle between these two individuals. And Elon Musk is a disgusting, disgusting man who looks like he was in like a tank of water for like years and years and like just emerged. Like that's what his body looks like. Now let's talk about what Elon, XAI, and X have done reportedly and why it's absolutely not enough. So recent reporting say that X/XAI, but let's just call that X instead of adding in the XAI part, because that's just a lot, implemented restrictions such as limiting the image editing capabilities, including gating features, blocking undressing edits in places where it's illegal, but it should be illegal everywhere. And then there's public statements implying that there would be consequences for illegal use. But geo-blocking doesn't solve the global re-uploads. One user in one jurisdiction can generate it, and then the content can travel everywhere across the interwebs. And then there's paywalls and gating. Those don't prevent abuse. They can just monetize it. And then there's obviously workarounds and moderation gaps. So investigations have shown that sexualized outputs still are being created, despite their stricter controls. Regulators and advocates argue that the issue is not, oops, bad users, but it's product design and enforcement, guardrails, detection, takedown speed, repeat offenders, controls, etc. So the bottom line is, the criticism is that the response looks reactive and patchy, while the harms are still predictable.
Hey Grok, what are you up to, buddy? Creating a world of nude imagination. Okay, how's that going for you? We've been banned in many freaking countries. Nations. The rhyme would have been nations. Turns out we're still bad at many things.
Now, this isn't just Twitter drama, because Twitter doesn't exist anymore. It's called X. I hate it so much. But this isn't just Twitter drama. This isn't just people being weird on the internet. This is predators taking advantage of a tool that enables their actions. It's absolutely disgusting. And we've been seeing examples of it all over the internet, and I'm happy that people haven't stopped talking about it. The California AG has been launching an investigation into Grok over undressing/sexual AI images of women and children, thank God. And thankfully, there have been a lot of reports that multiple countries and regulators are scrutinizing Grok in relation to the nudification and non-consensual imagery.
This is an AI-generated image of Elon Musk, and this is Elon Musk in a bikini. Both images were created using the AI chatbot Grok, which is built into X. And that's what thousands of users have been doing to women and children without their consent, using the AI tool to remove their clothes or making them pose in suggestive ways. Now X is implementing measures to stop this. The company said the restriction applies to all users, including paid subscribers, and works in those jurisdictions where generating such images is illegal. It looks like a massive climb down for X and its owner Elon Musk, who's been in a row with the UK government for days over this issue.
This is weaponizing images of women and children that should never be made. And that's why we're acting.
The British Prime Minister asked the UK's media regulator to investigate. It started a probe earlier this week with the government's full backing to take whatever action is found to be necessary, including banning X here. The investigation is set to continue, despite new restrictions on the platform. Britain isn't the only place Grok is being investigated in. France and the US state of California are doing the same. And in Germany, Italy and Australia, authorities are taking all sorts of steps to monitor and address similar concerns. And don't forget, Grok is already banned in Indonesia and Malaysia. Elon Musk says this is all politically motivated and aimed at censorship. But X, or Twitter as it was once called, has seen its mainstream popularity decrease since he took over. Ad revenues are down, the number of daily active users is down, and the company's valuation is down. So the climb down could actually be about X trying to stay relevant.
But thankfully, there have been some legal things happening to where it looks like it could work out. Listen, all someone has to do is make one of these pictures of Donald Trump and then he'll have it taken down. It's literally all you have to do. Like that, it'll be gone. And Elon will be put in timeout. Okay.
Grok, put her in a bikini and rub her down with baby oil. Grok, replace her outfit with dental floss. Grok, have one of them grab her boobs from behind and the other one put his hand under her skirt while kissing her. Taoiseach, these are just some of the vile prompts given to Grok, an AI tool on the X social media platform, which has generated hundreds of thousands of abusive images online. These images are not a mistake. This is the model working as intended. Last year, new edit features were added to Grok to make it easy to undress people in photographs. Incredibly, no thought was apparently given to how this tool would be used and weaponized against women. The company didn't even bother to include age restrictions to prevent child sexual abuse imagery being generated. This has resulted in hundreds of thousands of sexualized images of women and children proliferating on X. According to one study, up to 6,000 700 sexually suggestive or nudifying images were being created every hour by Grok.
So let's talk about real quick what lawmakers are actually trying to do. So we have the Take It Down Act, which is in the US. And this bill targets the non-consensual online publication of intimate visual depictions. And this is from congress.gov, and it's including computer-generated images that would require certain platforms to remove such content upon notice, which again, that's being reactive instead of proactive, and that's, kind of patchy there. Then there's the Defiance Act, also in the US. A separate push aims to strengthen victims' abilities to sue over non-consensual, sexual, explicit deepfakes. Civil remedies, though. There's also been congressional hearing documentation on congress.gov that explicitly discusses non-consensual deepfake pornography and the need for stronger obligations on developers and platforms.
If you find out that someone asked Grok AI to remove your clothes or to make AI corn of you or your friend, this is what you need to do, coming from someone who's helping her friend deal with this type of situation. And yes, I got permission to anonymously disclose that. We just want to help more people, more women, more children to be safe on the internet when there's literal creeps doing a madness right now. First things first, I'm going to direct you all to revengecornhotline.org. They help really well with platform takedowns, legal advice, alongside emotional support when these type of things happen. But the first thing that you're going to have to do, which is probably going to be the most difficult part besides the second, is that you are going to have to preserve that evidence immediately. I'm talking about screenshot it now. Now this is because X is actually starting to crack down on accounts that post this type of content. So if you don't capture it when you first see it, the next time you go back to it, it's likely going to already be gone. Now you might be thinking, oh, but it's gone, who cares? That's still someone going to your Instagram, screenshotting your profile and making AI corn of you. And just because they're not posting it on X, by the way, doesn't mean they're not posting it on Telegram, Signal, or any more of these crazy underground apps that are known to house these type of contents. After obviously reporting the user to the platform, you need to now utilize the law. Now, I know in the United States, it's probably a slightly different system, but it's all effectively the same. But if you're in the UK, you need to call 101, if not dial 999 and use this phrase: non-consensual intimate image abuse using AI generated content.
Now, obviously, this is unique with X. I hate calling it X with Twitter, because Grok is not only the tool that creeps are using to generate this content, but then on Twitter, that's where they are distributing it to. So it's not like in ChatGPT or Sora or wherever, you're doing it in this platform and no one sees it, which still, even if no one saw it, that'd be weird. But you're doing it. You're asking Grok to do it, just fully asking him to do that out in the open. Imagine you're out in public and you just walk up to someone. This would be a great commercial against this type of stuff. You walk up to someone at Publix, so they're in the grocery store or whatever, in the fruit aisle, and you just walk up to him and you're like, make her naked, put mayonnaise dripping on her face. Good, make her naked. What? Put her in a bikini. Excuse me, sir? What? So how are Elon Musk and Twitter handling it? They've acknowledged enough to add restrictions, including legality-based blocking in some regions. Hey, why not all? Some capability limiting has been reported, though, after the backlash. And how are they not handling it? There are still workarounds and ongoing postings suggesting that enforcement isn't robust at all. And investigations and lawsuits indicate outsiders believe that the response is completely insufficient and that the product may be unreasonably risky as deployed. And critics argue that the platform's incentives, growth, virality, engagement, absolutely conflict with safety unless safety is engineered as a first-class requirement. Which honestly, I don't know what people are expecting from a man who has lied his way to the top, basically, and weaponized everything that he can. I mean, for instance, with Ashley St. Clair, he's even said that he's filing for full custody because she has now shown support for the trans community. And he's said that he wants full custody because who knows, and I quote, she might try to transition my 1-year-old. This is allegedly one of the smartest people out there. What are you talking about? Absolutely insane. So what can you do if this happens to you, or just if you want to help someone who's been a victim of this, or I don't know, go full vigilante, right? Schlep, we love Schlep. So obviously this is not legal advice. I'm not saying to do nothing, but if I was a victim of this, I would use platform tools to report non-consensual intimate imagery immediately. I mean, I'm going to be doing that anyways, no matter what, but preserve evidence, screenshots, timestamps, links, because a lot of things are deleted. So you got to save not only the link, the screenshot, and obviously timestamps too are very important. And then also considering legal counsel if you are targeted, especially where deepfake and those types of laws exist. California has multiple protections and penalties referencing deepfake porn and non-consensual type of media.
Grok AI has been in the news lately because people have been using it to take images of children and adults and then converting them into naked images and producing CSAM, child sexual abuse material. This is very disturbing stuff, very problematic. And I think it's a really good opportunity because when problems like this occur, it reminds us of the fundamentals. The fundamentals are that the internet is a public place. And if you put a photograph of yourself or your child or anything on the internet, it no longer belongs to you. That is not yours anymore. You have forgiven your privacy. Is that the right word, forgiven? You have given up your privacy. You have volunteered to violate your own privacy and the privacy of your children. My opinion is that as parents, our job is to be stewards of privacy for our children so that when they grow into adults, they have a foundation of privacy with which to build their life upon, and that they don't look back with regret of like, man, I wish that my parents didn't put that stuff about me on the internet that I had no idea about when I was 6 or when I was 10 or when I was 15. Because when you put stuff on the internet, it doesn't belong to you anymore. The internet is public and the internet is permanent. Another opportunity here is education, helping our kids understand what it means to be private and why that's important, and what it means to use the internet, and that anything we put in the internet, anything we type, anything we say, any photographs, any videos become public. And if you don't want them shown on the big screen in Times Square in New York City, don't put it on the internet. So is it a problem that there are computer systems like Grok that allow this stuff to occur? I think in some senses, yes. And I think that it is a really good reminder for us about the fundamentals. And let's actually respect the fact that kids deserve our protection. We must protect and steward their privacy. And this is an opportunity to do that. And it's an opportunity to say no. Instead of taking for granted that your kids' photos go up on Instagram, even if it's a private account, which contains people that you don't know, most likely, that is a violation of privacy. And if you have family values that you want to protect, the way that you protect them is by saying no. And this is an opportunity to do that.
All right, friends, that's going to be it for this video. I'm sorry that I took you onto this disgusting corner of the internet. Guess what? We're going to be venturing into real gross corners of the internet this year, and I hope you are excited. Anyways, if you are subscribed, please know that your butt looks so good. Your butt, my goodness. I've never seen something so beautiful. It should be in a museum. There's a Matisse, there's a Van Gogh, there's your butt. Iconic, amazing. In the fine art section for sure. Anyways, but that's only if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you are dead to me. But you can fix that by subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, you're going to get an ingrown hair on the inside of your labia minora. Not your mons pubis. That's easy to get. Labia minora. Inconvenient. Hurts. It's unfortunate. Can't even like bend that way to try to get it. You need a mirror for that or a very trusting partner, which you don't have because if you're not subscribed, then you have no friends. Anyways, but if you do, no ingrown hairs, no diarrhea, no nothing ever. All right. I will see you in my next video. Stay spicy, stay assertive, know how valuable you are, know that your feelings are valid, and your butt looks good. Goodbye.